Hello everyone. This video is about Introduction to GNU Octave. Octave is a software similar to MATLAB. Octave is an open source software. I have put the link in the description box to download Octave. I'll just introduce you to the Octave window. In Octave, you have this as command window where we type all the commands. This is the file editor where you can write multi-line commands and save it in the form of a file. This is workspace. So as we keep on creating variables, those variables will be saved over here. This is command history. This is file browser. So this and this directory is same. When you click on window, you can choose which uh, which window to display. So let's say I uncheck this, so my command window will go away. Just check on this again to bring it. If I click here, my command window will be detached from the main window. If I want to merge it back to the original Octave window, you click onto this, it will go back over there. So when we want to execute single line commands, we use the command window. When we want to use the multi-line commands and want to save it in the file, we use editor. Here the idea is to show you the use of Octave for basic image processing. In order to do image processing using Octave, we are going to use the image package in the GNU Octave. So first you have to check whether image package is installed or not. For that we will use command pkg list. It will enlist all the packages which are there in our Octave. For Windows it comes pre-installed, but for Mac systems you need to separately download it and install. So in the description box I have also given the link how to install this image package. In order to load the package, we will do pkg load image. So when nothing happens and you again come at the next line, that means now your package is loaded. After this I will do clc. If I have some previous variable assigned, that you can clear using clear all. So you can see here in the workspace I can see some variable names answer which has a class double. So as soon as I do clear all, that will also go away. So make it a practice to do close all the previous open file if there are any. So clear all, close all, and CLC will clear our window. So it is a better idea to start with pkg load image in a file and then start. So here first let us see the use of Octave as a calculator. So it can do any mathematical operation like calculator. So let's say if I do 2 into 2, it will give me answer 4. 2 plus 2, 4. If I want to do 3 raised to 3, 27. I can also do the same operation by double star 3. Still it will give me 27. If you have any doubt about the function, you can just type help. And it will also give you hint about the functions. Let's say I want to calculate square root. So I'm not sure about the syntax. So as soon as I write SQR, it will give me this suggestion of SQRT. But if I'm not sure that how this function works, you can just type in here help SQRT and enter. It will give you all the related information to this. But what you have to write, if you are not even sure about the syntax of the function, that suggestion you can only get when you are in the editor window. Then you can go to the command window and type help space name of that function. So here I wanted help with related to the function sqrt, which is related to square root. So it will tell you that it's a built-in function. and the details are here. So sqrt within bracket x, if you want to compute the square root of each element of x. Okay, so if I want to say square root of 81 and then I'm running, in order to run you will use this, so it will save and run. So first it will ask us to save this file. Let me give it today's date, so 18th August. I will save. Maybe it cannot start with number, so I will say August 18th and again change where I want to save it. Now it is asking me, should I change the directory? Yes, I will say change directory, and I have reached over there. After the saving the file, when I run it, it will give me the answer of square root of 81 as 9. So this way you can take help for any function. So today we are going to see how to define a matrix in Octave. So let's say I want to define a matrix, square bracket. Each element has to be separated by a space. So let's say I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and semicolon. If I put a semicolon, that means the answer will not be displayed in the command window. It will be executed but will not be displayed. So now let me just remove this semicolon and run it. When I run it, I will get answer A equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I put a semicolon and then I run it, it will not give any answer because of this semicolon. So this is how you define a matrix. Before loading the package, it's a good practice to do CLC for clearing screen, close all for closing all the previous windows, and third, clear all to delete all the values from the workspace. Now let us run it again. So now you can see, now in the workspace only matrix A is there, command window is also clear, and if there was any file, that will also be closed. Let's say I want to define B one colon 10. Then it will create a matrix from 1 to 10. So now here I have put a semicolon, so A will not be displayed but B will be displayed. If we want to know the minimum maximum value of a matrix, then we will say C equals minimum of A. So the minimum of A is 1, so it should give us answer 1. I have put semicolon at both places, so only C will be displayed. So our answer is C equals 1. If I don't want to execute a particular line and I want to make it a comment, then I will put hash sign, and now let us say D equals max function, max of B. Here remember that we are only uh, having one dimensional matrix. If we have a two-dimensional matrix, then we will have to apply twice minimum of that matrix. So if I do max of B, so answer is 10. Similarly, you can also create matrix of value zeros and ones. So let's say I want to create A, which is, so I want to create it with value 1. So when I do ones, but I don't remember the details of the function, so I will just say help ones and enter. So it tells us how to use this function. So 1 is a built-in function. So if I write just once n, it will create n-dimensional array whose elements are all 1, m comma n. So if only n is written, that means it will be a square matrix of size n cross n. M cross n if we want to have different number of rows and columns. So right now I just want ones of, let's say, 8. So it will create 8 cross 8 matrix with all ones. So here is our answer. Similarly, we can also create zeros. So now let me define zeros in similar way, or let's say I say 2 comma 3 and I put a semicolon here. Let us run it. So it's a 2 comma 3, so 2 rows and 3 columns. So now let us see how we can create a simple ramp image using matrices. So let us define m equals 0 colon 9. This will create a matrix of 1 cross 10 with values 0 to 9. Let us execute it. So you have got 10 elements 0 to 9. Now I will define ones of 1 comma 10. So this will give me all ones. Now I want to have the multiplication of, so my image is m transpose, because if you want to have the product of the two, number of rows in one must equal number of columns in another. So we will say m prime star a. So m prime star a will multiply transpose of m with row matrix having 10 times a. Okay. So we have created a ramp which has lowest value in the first row and highest in the last row. So now we want to see the image. Im show, image name is im, comma. Let us see first only im. So we are only seeing one black. Let us try putting a square bracket. So I have created this intensity, this ramp image, for which the intensity is minimum here and maximum as you go. So this is how we can create images using matrices. We can apply different kind of operations to change the appearance of the image. So let's say we had a ramp which was going from top to bottom. If I want to create one image which is having ramp from left to right or right to left, then you can just either flip it or transpose it. Then next we want to read image from the directory. So we will use imread command, imread within bracket, single inverted commas. We will write name of the file, JPG, PNG, all are supported formats. Make sure that the file, the image file is placed in the same directory that you are using as a current directory in the Octave. So here is my image file sample1.png, sample1.png, name has to match as it is, and if I do not put a semicolon, then in my command window entire image values, that is the intensity values, will be shown, but we don't want to do that. So let us put a semicolon and say I can store this in a variable called img, and then I can say imshow img and run. So this is my image. If you go to left, you can see that now we have one img variable which is uint8 class. That means it is unsigned integer of 8 bit. So it's a 8 bit RGB image. Dimensions are 158 into 221 into 3. So as it is obvious that it's a RGB image. So first, for basic spatial domain operations, we are going to convert RGB images into grayscale image. So we will say new equals RGB to gray and name of the variable. So now our image is stored in img variable. I'll put a semicolon and now we will say imshow So this is the grayscale image which is converted from using the function RGB to gray. So new is also unsigned integer of 8 bit, but this multiplied to 3 is gone because now it's a two-dimensional matrix of size 158 into 221. Now if we want to see the image in the form of a matrix, we just need to say, so let me just change these imshow commands into comments, and we will just write new and run. Now my command window is side by side. So this, in the command window you can see all the values of the matrix are being displayed. So that is how you can convert any image to its matrix form. So now let's say I want to modify this image. So I will say that now new equals new prime and semicolon, so it will not be displayed. And now we can again do this imshow because now my new value is modified. So we have old new and new. Let us run this. So this is my new, but you can't see both because the latest one is uh, replaced with the old one. In order to see both of them in two separate windows, you have to say figure, and then it will create a separate window for each. And now let me just run it. So here is my figure 1, which was our original grayscale image, and this is the rotated version, the transposed image. So now if I just change the name, then we will also get a new variable here, 1 and 2. And now you can see this new one has the dimension just opposite to that. What was row has now become column over here. In order to save this new image, the command is imwrite the variable. So my matrix name is new1. I want to save this in the form. I will say sample2.png and run. So 1, 2, and here we will see that we have got one sample2.png. So if I open this, you can see this is the image. Okay, so that's it for basics of image processing using Octave. You can also find the list of all the functions that are built in with image package in the description box. So keep practicing. Thank you.